Thank you, Sue.
Oh, we're getting marital advice over here. The two people you're about to meet have been married over 50 years. All right, we're talking about homelessness in our city. And we're going to talk about a good, clean, dry pair of socks and what that means to a person that is homeless. Clean and dry socks not only means warmth, they also mean healthy feet in a lot of ways.
So local nonprofit, the Joy of Sox, collects and distributes socks both here and abroad. And they recently collected, get this, their 1 millionth pair of socks. That's amazing. So joining us now are co-founders Tom and Nancy Costello. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Pleasure.
How'd this whole thing start?
How did it start? Well, ironically, I used to be homeless phobic, afraid of the homeless. And Nancy was volunteering at a shelter. And I went down there, had a panic attack. I couldn't get out of my car, scared me. But I managed. And she was working with a podiatrist who said homeless never get donations of socks, and it creates horrible problems. Kind of resonated with me. So a few months later, I got the nerve, bought some socks at Costco or Target, went back to the shelter, and I'm in the basement handing out the socks. Merry Christmas, God bless you. It was towards the end of the year. And one lady came up to me, didn't make any eye contact. I dropped the socks in her bag. She walked away. And she came back and said, "Could I please have a pair for a friend who couldn't be here?" I said, "Sure." As I went to drop the socks in her bag, she started to cry and looked me in the eye and said, "No one has ever given me a pair of socks before." And then she reached out to give me a hug. I never touched a homeless person before. And I hugged her back. That's my epiphany moment.
Changed your life.
I had to be the sock guy. Yeah, exactly.
Well, tell me about more. You were fearful of homeless people?
Absolutely.
Is that a thing?
I have no idea, but it was a phobia I had. No idea why, but
You would just avoid them at all cost.
yep.
But since that moment,
Until I had that moment, and now we're
Now
Help
you're
us
the
out.
opposite.
exactly
yes.
right.
And what is the, 'cause
Wow.
I think a lot of people, when we think of homeless, we think, oh, food and maybe a coat. What is the importance of socks? What is it that about?
Well, many people don't realize that homeless are able to go to shelters and soup kitchens and get a meal. But they have no ability, if you step into an icy cold puddle, what's the first thing you want to do? Take off your shoes and socks
exactly.
to get a new one. But the homeless don't have any ability to do that. So when you think about it too, when you donate items for others, you might give a jacket or a pair of pants or
Yeah.
something like that. But what do you do with your socks when they're worn? You toss them.
Yeah.
So socks are the item most requested at shelters and the least donated.
Is that right?
Yes.
The most requested
Yes.
socks.
Yes, because they have the homeless, the unhoused, have no ability to be able to get their socks washed. And so when they're damp and wet, they just throw them away. So they have no ability to put on a fresh pair of socks.
How do I donate?
Well, you can donate through our organization, the Joy of Sox. We have a website, tjos.org, and on that you'll get prompts to be able to follow those prompts to donate.
And is it any kind of sock? I mean, do they have a preference? I mean, wool socks?
New
cotton?
socks.
Just new,
New
okay.
Yeah, we don't accept gently used because
Okay.
we don't have the ability to keep everything clean.
Right.
So new socks, plus that the homeless rarely get anything brand new.
Right.
So this is an important item.
Is this a national thing?
Well,
It should be.
we're based here in Pennsylvania, outside the
Right.
Philadelphia area, but we've distributed in 34 states and
11
in
countries.
11 countries.
And how long have you been doing this?
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
So a follow-up to the importance of socks. On the back of our business card, you can't see it here, but it said, sometimes socks could be more important than food.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to make any sense. Socks more important than food. But a lady, Kiwi, homeless woman in Toronto, said that she's living on the street. In the winter, it's cold. You can get food from food pantries, shelters, etc.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any socks on your feet, the pain and cold goes right up your legs, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
So in her world, socks are more important than food.
Because food is more accessible. And when you think about it, homeless don't have the ability to hop a bus or do an Uber, so their feet are their main means of transportation. And unless
Yeah.
your feet are in good shape, you can't get to all those places. So socks are really more
So-
than important.
You
item.
started volunteering at a shelter?
I was volunteering at St. Vincent's in Germantown.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And on site was a podiatrist, and she was doing work pro bono. And she was just explaining to me how the homeless have a lot of podiatric problems
Yeah.
that could be mitigated by a pair of socks.
Yeah.
On the way home from that occasion, I could see Tom was starting to think, and I'm thinking, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know, it's just not right that something as basic as a pair of socks,
Yeah.
people don't
Where
have
are
that.
you from originally?
Long Island?
Long Island,
Long
New
Island,
York.
Yeah. And this marriage has gone on how many years?
52 years.
52.
Jeez.
You're doing such important work.
Well, we were an all-volunteer organization. We couldn't do it without all our volunteers.
Come on.
It's a big team effort. It
Our-
really
the-
is.
The people that watch this show are very
A shout out
giving.
to our volunteers.
So, come on, help them out.
Yes, and thank you for making more people aware about the importance of socks.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not just a simple pair of socks, and we have these for you both.
Oh, thank you.
These are specially designed socks. They're antimicrobial, anti-blister, and we will be giving these out at a special celebration later this week.
And they're made in the United States.
They're made
Okay.
right in Westchester,
Oh, very
Pennsylvania.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and congratulations on your 1 millionth pair.
Thank you so much.
And we're coming right back.